Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemistry session. Here we are discussing about the chapter changes around us. In this session we are going to see the classification of different kinds of changes based upon certain properties, certain characteristics. Every day we see different types of changes around us, like day turning into night, the season changing from winter to summer, melting of ice into water, cooking of food, rusting of iron, growth of our body, and so on. These all changes everybody of us might have observed in our day-to-day life, isn't it? See, day and night. You observe this day and night. In the daytime it will be sun, in the night time it comes moon, it will be dark in the night time, it will be light enough in the daytime. The changes we observe daily. And melting of ice, when ice is there, it will be in a solid form. When it is kept outside, it slowly converts into liquid form, that is water form, that we call as melting of ice. There we observe the change from liquid to solid to liquid, it changes. And burning, if you see here, burning of certain wood or certain fuel, what happens then? They produce light, heat and flame. So these all are the different changes we observe in our day-to-day life. Now we are going to see the classification of these changes based upon certain characteristics. First, let us see the classification of changes based upon speed. Based upon the speed or time taken for the completion of the change, changes can be classified broadly into two types. One of them is slow changes. A change that occurs very slowly and takes a very long time for its completion is called a slow change. For example, growth of a child into an adult and then into an old man. It takes years of time. So it will occur in years of time, isn't it? So we can say this is a slow change. Say conversion of a child into an adult and an adult to an old man. It will take years of time. These kind of changes which are taking very long time for their completion are called as slow changes. Okay. Some other changes were, let us see here, the changes which come under slow changes. One of them is curdling of milk takes a few hours. So we can say this as a slow change. One more, germination of seeds. So when you keep these seeds in the soil, from them to come out the plant, it takes 2 to 4 days time. So the germination of seed to form a plant will take 2 to 4 days. So we can say it as a slow change. Another one, ripening of fruits also will take few hours. So we can say this also a slow change. Next, conversion of night into day. This also will be happened in few hours. So the changes which are taking hours to days and years will come under slow changes. So conversion of night into day is also one of the slow changes. Cooking of food will take few hours or few minutes. So we can say that also as a slow change sometimes. And one complete rotation of the earth around the sun takes 24 hours. Okay. The rotation of the earth will take 24 hours. So it also can be considered as one of the slow changes. So these all will come under slow changes. The changes which are taking long time for their completion are called as slow changes. Another kind is fast changes. Based upon the time taken for the completion, so the changes can be classified into slow changes and fast changes. The changes that occur spontaneously or occur at a very fast speed are called as fast changes. Means the changes which occur immediately, spontaneously, which occur with very fast speed are called as fast changes. For example, burning of a matchstick. If you rub the matchstick over a matchbox, it catches fire immediately. Within seconds it burns, isn't it? So we can say this as one of the examples for fast changes. Some other, let us see here. Burning of a paper, within seconds it burns a paper, so it also comes under fast change. Bursting of crackers, within seconds immediately it bursts, so it is a fast change. Dropping on of object from height, so if you drop an object from the height, immediately it reaches the ground with fast speed, so we can say that also one of the fast changes. And blinking of eyes, observe that blinking of eyes, within seconds it happens, fractions of seconds, isn't it? So these all will come under fast changes. These all changes will take very short time, they occur spontaneously, that's why these are called fast changes. Next, the classification of changes based upon the reversibility. So changes can be classified broadly into two types based upon the reversibility of the change. So they are reversible changes and irreversible changes. Now let us see first about reversible changes. Some of the changes can be reversed to get back the original shape, size, etc. of the material taken. Such kind of changes are called reversible changes. For example, if you deflate the inflated balloon, it takes its original shape and size, isn't it? So if you take a empty balloon, deflated balloon, blow air into that, then it will be inflated. Its size and the shape will be increased. If you deflate it again, if you open the mouth of that balloon, complete air will go out and it will be deflated. It comes back to its original shape and size. This change we can say as reversible change. Such changes are called as reversible changes. A reversible change can take place in both the directions. Okay. Now let us see some examples for these reversible changes. Ice changes into water on heating and water changes into ice on cooling. Say if you take ice, we can get water. If you take water, we can get ice from this. So these reversible changes can be taken place from both the directions. So if you take some ice cubes, if you keep them outside or if you heat them, we observe that ice converts into water, isn't it? If you cool the same water again by keeping the deep freezer, again we get the ice. So what's happening? The original substance on changing conditions, it is changing to another state. For example, ice we have taken as original substance. If you heat it, it changes into liquid form, liquid water form. Again, if you cool the water, we are getting back the original substance what we have taken, that is ice. That's why we say these changes are reversible changes. We can get back the original substance taken at the earlier. And these changes can be taken place in both the directions. For example, if you take ice, we can get water. And if you take water, we can get ice from that. And from the ice again we can get back water. So reversible changes can be done from both the directions. One more example, melting of ice cream is one of the reversible changes, because when it is cooled again it will be solidified. Now let us see some other examples where the change can be reversed. Let us see here. All the steam that is made when water is in a kettle boils turns back into water by cooling it, isn't it? So if you take water into a kettle and if you heat it, then we know water starts boiling out and it converts into steam form. If we collect these steams and if we cool them, we will get back the water. So this is a reversible change, conversion of water into steam, and conversion of this steam back into water form is a reversible change. And an electrical bulb can be made to give light by passing electric current through it, isn't it? At the night times, when you switch on, immediately electrical bulb will glow and gives light. That is one change. The bulb returns to its original state and does not give light when the electrical current is switched off. What happens if we switch off the light? Immediately it will be coming back to its original state and won't give light there. So what's happened there? It came back to its original state. That is called reversible change. And a blacksmith changes a piece of iron into different tools. A blacksmith makes different tools from the iron rods, isn't it? For that, what he will do, a piece of iron is heated to red hot. So by heating iron objects to red hot, they become softened. Then he will beat those into different and desired shapes. So this is a reversible process, and the iron article made it different shape can be returned to its original shape by beating and heating it again. So these all will come under reversible changes. One more, evaporation and condensation process are reverse of each other. What is evaporation here? If you take certain liquid, if you keep it in the open container, or if you observe, small quantity of that liquid will be converting into gaseous form. That we will say as evaporation. Conversion of liquid into gaseous form is called evaporation. If you collect those vapors and if you cool again, those vapors convert into liquid form. That conversion of vapors into liquids is called condensation. So evaporation, condensation, both are reversible changes one to another. Okay. And one more, melting and boiling are reversible processes. What is here melting? Conversion of a solid into liquid by heating. So that liquid can be further heated to convert into gaseous form. That process is called boiling. So boiling can be reversed again. What we have done in the boiling process, a liquid will be changed into gaseous form on heating. So those gaseous form of that liquid again can be converted back into liquid state by cooling. That process we call as condensation. And in the same way, melting also can be reversed. A solid converts into liquid by heating is melting. Again, that liquid can be solidified by cooling. That is called freezing process actually. So in this way, this melting and boiling, these all are reversible processes. They can be reversed and we can get back the original substance taken. Okay, next one. Our heartbeat increases on doing vigorous physical exercise, but it becomes normal after some time. So there will be change in the heartbeat also when you do certain vigorous exercises like running for long distances. If you do such kind of exercises, we observe the heartbeat increases, but after certain time again it comes back to normal state. Okay, this is one of the reversible change. And when leaves of touch-me-not plant is touched, they close and after some time open out again as before. So these all will come under reversible changes where the original substance is obtained back by reversing the conditions. Such changes are called as reversible changes. And another kind of change based upon the reversibility, the second category is irreversible changes. Some of the changes cannot be reversed back. They are called irreversible changes. For example, if an inflated balloon is tightly closed at its mouth and then pricked, it bursts and then it cannot regain its original shape and size. This type of change is called irreversible change. So in the earlier example for reversible change, what we have done, we have taken a balloon and air is blown into that to make it inflated, and again by opening the mouth air will go off and it will be deflated. There it is getting its original shape and size. But if you take a balloon and if you blow air into that to inflate it and tightly close its mouth and then prick it with a pin, then what happens? It bursts. Then we cannot get back its original shape and size even though we blow into it because it is bursted. This type of changes in which we are not able to get back the original substance by reversing the conditions also are called irreversible changes. Irreversible change can take place only in one direction. For example, formation of omelette from egg is an irreversible process as omelette cannot be converted back into raw egg. This is one of the familiar examples for us at our homes they will be doing, isn't it? First they will take a raw eggs and they convert that into omelette and by cooking it. But from the omelette we cannot get back the raw egg. So it is only done one direction. Reverse process is not possible here. Such kind of changes are called irreversible changes. Some other examples of irreversible changes let us see here. One of them is cake batter is made from eggs, flour, sugar and butter. By mixing these all, by baking these all, they will get cake. Isn't it? Once the cake has been baked, we cannot get back the ingredients taken for that making of cake. Isn't it? Can we get it back? No, we cannot. Isn't it? So generally for making of cake, they use eggs, flour, sugar, butter, these all they will mix and they will bake them and hence cake is prepared. Once the cake is baked, we cannot get back those ingredients mixed to make it. We cannot separate them. It's only one side process. Reverse process is not possible here. So it is one of the irreversible changes. Next, ripening of fruits is one of the irreversible process because here we cannot get back the unripened fruit from the ripened fruit. Can we get back? No, we cannot. So it is one of the irreversible changes. And one more, cooking of food is one of the examples for irreversible changes because we cannot get back the original substances taken for starting that cooking. We take different food items like fruits and pulses, these all will be cooked, but from those cooked items we cannot get back the raw materials which we have taken at the starting. Can we get it? No. That is why this comes under irreversible change. The change in which the original substances cannot be retained, cannot be reformed, are called irreversible changes. Okay. Next, blooming of flowers is an irreversible process as flowers cannot change back into birds, isn't it? So a blooming flower cannot be changed back into bird. A bird can be bloomed and it become flower, but from the flowers we cannot get back the birds, isn't it? So it is an irreversible process. One more, when a paper is burnt, it changes into ash and smoke. From these two, ash and smoke, we cannot get back the paper. Thus, burning a paper is one of the irreversible changes. One more we can see. Okay, this is about irreversible changes. The changes in which the original substance cannot be formed back by changing the conditions also are called irreversible changes. Right? Do you know this? Burning of a candle is an example in which both reversible and irreversible processes are involved. It is one of the processes like that. This is because a candle on burning forms carbon dioxide gas and water vapor as products, isn't it? While burning candle here, it burns in the atmospheric air and produces carbon dioxide and water vapor as products into air. Of course, it gives light energy also. These products cannot be converted back into candle. Sorry. So these products cannot be converted back into candle. If we collect that water vapor and carbon dioxide produced from the candle, if we collect those back, even though we collect them back, we cannot convert them into candle form again. This represents one of the irreversible change. Conversion of candle into carbon dioxide and water vapor by burning is a irreversible change. But melting of wax around this wick, we observe some wax will be melted and it comes down like drops. Have you observed this while burning a candle? This melting of wax of candle is reversible change because that melted wax can be solidified again by cooling. So melting of wax is a reversible change, and burning of candle wax is a irreversible change. In this way, in the burning of candle, two processes are involved. The combustion of the wax is irreversible process and melting of wax is reversible process. Okay, these are two processes involved in the burning of candle. Based upon the reversibility, changes can also be classified as temporary changes and permanent changes. Here, temporary changes means the changes that can be easily reversed to get back the original substances are called as temporary changes. What are those? The changes which can be easily reversed by changing the conditions will get back the original substances are called as temporary changes. For example, any physical change such as evaporation, condensation or melting, in these all processes we can get back the original substances by changing conditions. For example, if we take melting of ice cubes, what happens by melting of ice cubes? It converts into liquid water. If you cool back the water again, we will get back ice. So we are getting back the original substances by the reversing conditions. This kind of changes in which easily we get back the original substances are called as reversible changes. If you stretch a rubber band, it changes its shape. If you leave the stretching again, it comes back to its original position. That is also one of the temporary change. Another kind is a permanent change. A change that cannot be easily reversed to get back the original substances is called a permanent change. For example, any chemical change like burning of paper, burning of wood, digestion of food, these all will come under permanent changes. There we cannot get back the original substances even though we change the conditions. So first we do, if you take a paper and if you burn it, we will get a ash and some smoke. If we collect those two and if you can get back the paper from those, no, we cannot get back. So such kind of changes in which we cannot get back the original substances are called as permanent changes also. Okay, that is about reversible and irreversible changes, which are also termed as temporary and permanent changes. Okay, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today and visit our website aimstoday.in for latest updates on recorded videos.